students. Happy weekend. It is Friday, and I'm recording a little video for you um, just to prepare you for week 7 and to wish you good luck on completing your draft of your data visualization group project. I hope that you've all managed to meet with your group remotely, in person, or a hybrid. Some students in person and some visiting via Skype or other kind of chat. So I wanted to point out some things to all of you based on some conversations I've had with members of groups who have come to meet me in person or have emailed me. So you have to have a full draft completed and posted to the discussion board area for peer review on Monday night. And you need to have a draft of your document and your presentation. You should strive to have these be as complete as possible. As you know, I hope, I recorded a really long video for you last week that walked you through the assignment and showed you some examples from previous students' work. If you haven't watched that video, please watch it so that you don't have to email me with those questions again. I do want to remind you that in your document, you need to have 3 kinds of graphics that are set and then one other kind that is your choice. So you need to have a table, a bar graph, a line graph, and then the 4th one is of your choice. But I don't want it to be a pie chart. Your book, and I mentioned this in the other video, has a series of pages with a table that contains a whole wide array of data visualization types. So look at that so that you can intelligently pick the 4th one that you're going to use for your 2 chosen data sets from the enrollment report that I shared with all of you in the assignment. So you have to submit on Monday night the document as a PDF, which has all of your text analysis, a minimum of 4 paragraphs, but I'm sure everybody is going to go over that, which is fine, but don't go too far over it. You don't need 4 paragraphs for each graphic. You will have at least 1 paragraph for each graphic. That's where the number 4 paragraphs comes from. And as you probably saw in the video I produced for last week, the one that I thought was really strong had a few paragraphs for each graphic, plus a little introduction and a conclusion. So you'll need to, with your group, decide what you want to do with that. So you'll turn in the document, but you'll also turn in a draft of your presentation. Now, I don't just want the PowerPoint presentation shared. I would like an actual video that can run. So if you do just create a narrated PowerPoint, you have to look online, use your own problem-solving skills to find out how to convert a PowerPoint video to a YouTube movie. You can use YouTube, you can use Vimeo, whatever you want. Another way to work around that is to do a narrated PowerPoint and then just record you playing the video, or actually maybe going through the narration, and record it with Jing. So Jing is free to download for PC users and Mac users, but it caps out at 5 minutes. That's why this video has a minimum of 5 minutes. You at least have to get to Jing's minimum, has a maximum of 7 minutes. With Jing, you just record your screen. So you would record going through the PowerPoint and narrating over it. Now, in the assignment, I say that each student needs to provide narration. That is the ideal. I know if a group is working totally remotely, that can be a little bit tricky because you'd have to send the sound files that each individual person records to one person who would then consolidate them as part of a single video. That person would probably need to have some video editing know-how, either in iMovie on a Mac or Windows Movie Maker on a PC. It's not too hard to learn how to do, and if a member of your group already knows how to do it, that's great. And you can just record audio on your phone and send it as a sound file, and then the person in charge of compiling all of that would compile it as a part of a movie. So that's one way to create sort of a seamless video presentation, including all of your audio features. But if you guys just simply can't manage to include 4 members' sound contributions into a single narrated presentation, You'll get a small penalty, but what I'm most concerned with is that the presentation itself is good. And if trying to combine all of the separate audio components into one video is going to harm its quality, then don't worry about that. So there are a few different ways to record your presentation and create it as a YouTube movie or a Vimeo or something to send to me. Worst case scenario, you just send me your narrated PowerPoint file. Actually, not send to me, I should restate. For the draft, you're posting it to the discussion board area. So that's actually sending to your peers. So sharing with your peers for Monday night. For the final draft, you'll definitely want everything as a YouTube video so I can just watch it without any trouble. If it's a Shockwave file, because you did it in Jing, I now have a way of watching those without any trouble either. For your final version, also due in over a week, you have to record a 5-minute segment of one of your group meetings. Now, if you're all meeting via Skype or via Google Hangouts, you're just going to use Jing, if you have a PC, to record 5 minutes of that meeting, save the Shockwave file and check it, make sure that it plays. Sometimes it's a little glitchy. Or if you have a Mac, you just use QuickTime to record the meeting. And each person has to do this. I have to have evidence from each person that they've recorded a 5-minute screen recording. And that you'll just have to include with the final version that you submit to me on Learn. But for this draft due on Monday, you don't have to have the 5-minute screen recording. You just have to have the document and the presentation. One final word about the presentation before I sign off is on your slides, make sure your slides are well designed and that your narration isn't just somebody reading what's on the slides. If I wanted to have the narration just be whatever was on the slides, I would just read the slides myself. The narration that goes over the top of the slides has to be somehow illuminating, somehow adding dimension to whatever is on the screen. So the presentation needs to tell me and your audience about your process of poring over this data and determining what data sets you're going to use and what guided your decisions for creating the graphics that you ended up creating and how they serve a new audience. Okay, if you have any questions, if your group has any questions, please reach out to me. My timeline for responding to email, as it says in the syllabus, is 48 hours, but I generally respond more quickly, and I'll do my best to do that.